Speaker, Enahoro Ikhide. Enahoro's speech is from CC Manual. Project number 2, Organize Your Speech. His speech title is CFP. Let's welcome Enahoro.
Alright. Who can tell me what a creamy green avocado and a thick slice chocolate cake have in common? Ron's looking at me like he knows it. Peter actually gave you the answer already. The answer is CFP. That's carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Carbohydrates, fats, and proteins are the 3 main macronutrients present in almost everything that we eat. They're an important part of our healthy diet, and each macronutrient performs a certain function that the other macronutrient cannot. The theme of my speech is Organize Your Speech, so I will be presenting each macronutrient in alphabetical order. Also, I will be comparing each macronutrient to a topic in finance. Finance is an important part of our daily lives. We deal with it on a daily basis, and I think we can all understand its importance. So I'm hoping to intertwine the 2 concepts and put the importance of CFPs in perspective and help you understand how important it is. So let's get started. Okay, carbohydrates are like cold, hard cash. Carbohydrates are the most efficient and easiest source of energy for the body, just like cash is the most easiest and efficient source of way of paying for things. If we were to eat a meal that contained carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, the body will begin digesting the carbohydrates first to give you the energy that you need in the moment. The same way if you were at a vendor and you had cash, or you had a debit card, the vendor would probably prefer your cash over the debit card. Also, carbohydrates produce a chemical that helps you to stabilize your mood. So if you're participating in a diet that lacks carbohydrates, you might find yourself feeling mood swings. The same way if you woke up one day and could never spend cash for the rest of your life, you'd likely be and probably a little splenetic. All right, moving on to fats. Fats are like the savings accounts, and I'll tell you why in a second, but let's address the role that fats play in our diet. Our body is essentially made up of trillions of cells, down to your eyes, your skin, your tongue, and each cell has a cell membrane. And when we digest fats aid in the production of our cell membranes and help keep them fluid and functioning correctly. Also, fats help in the production of hormones, and they produce the hormones estrogen and testosterone. And perhaps the most famous function of fats is storing excess calories. And the reason fats can store excess calories is because they can hold more calories per gram than proteins or carbohydrates. With carbohydrates, you get 4 grams of protein, with carbohydrates and proteins, you get 4 grams of calories, 4 calories per gram, I'm sorry for messing that up. 4 grams per calories for carbohydrates and proteins, and fats give you 9 calories per gram. Okay, like a tongue twister. And it's because of this that the body stores fat away for when calories are in low supply, or cash. And it's similar to that of a savings account when you would dip into your savings account when cash is low. Saving is an important part of accumulating wealth, and even the body understands that it is important to save. And last but not least, we have proteins. Proteins are the blank checks of macronutrients. proteins are probably the most ambidextrous macronutrients of all. Well, first let's address what proteins are. Proteins are actually small, complex molecules called amino acids. And there are at least 20 known amino acids. And these amino acids can form different sequences with each other. And if you think about it like the alphabet and how there are 26 letters and over a million words in the English language. And each of these proteins perform a specific function. Some of the functions include the popular ones like going to the gym when you do your squat and you're ripping your thigh muscles. The proteins get in there and they repair muscle growth. Also, proteins aid in the formation of the chemical basis for DNA, which makes us so unique. That's protein doing that for you. And also, the neurotransmitters in our brains are nerve cells. That's protein as well. So you can see that the possibilities for protein are endless. and that's why the body uses proteins like blank checks. The body will digest protein and put it towards making protein, towards making DNA, towards repairing muscles, and even the strands in our hair are made with DNA, protein. So that leads me to ask you guys, what would you guys do if you had a blank check by, say, Apple Incorporated? That's a conversation for a rainy day. As a future attorney, it's important that I give you this one last disclaimer. Not all CFPs were created equal. There's some good CFPs out there that will have you feeling wealthy, and there's some evil CFPs out there that will leave you feeling like you're in debt. But I'll let Google or Dr. Oz lecture you about those investments, as Rosanna pointed us to. But the next time you hear someone say that you do not need carbohydrates, fats, or proteins in your diet, tell them, each macronutrient is an important part of healthy finances.